In our architecture of tool based on Claude code, there is split between the landing zone and the solutions. So we must understand why we must have such split and why it's so important that we will divide the landing zone from the solutions. So first of all, we should understand what is the landing zone. So here there is a very simple and very easy to understand definition of the landing zone, very pragmatic. A landing zone is a GCP architecture that ensures every GCP project is born secure, connected, and compliant. So I've seen many different complicated definitions of landing zone, but this definition is very simple and you will understand it very quickly why this definition is good. So first of all, the connected means most of all networking services. So the landing zone is related to the networking services such as, for instance, in the GCP, we have VPC, Cloud DNS, VPN, we have Cloud Interconnect, Network Connectivity Center, Private Service Connect Endpoint, Service Interface, Private Services Access, Private Network Access, Private Google Access. Yeah, so all the things related to the networking services. So of course this is not the complete list. Of course we have other networking services, but we must understand that this connected means networking services. Yeah. So our landing zone allows connectivity between projects, between on-premises and GCP, between AWS and GCP. If you have other landing zone in AWS or in the Azure or in the other public cloud provider, yeah? And also of course connectivity from the end user to your GCP workloads. Okay, so this is it. About security. Secure keyword means security services such as Cloud Armor, IAM, Next Generation Firewall Enterprise, Secure Proxy, KMS, VPC Service Controls, Security Command Center, Google SecOps, Work Identity Federation, for instance, of course. Yeah? So this is not the complete list, of course. Yeah? So the next keyword is compliant. So we need not only the connectivity and not only security, but also, of course, compliance. And this compliance is related to organizational policies, Security Command Center, assured workloads, Cloud External Key Manager, data residency, things in the GCP, sensitive data protection, cloud asset inventory, cloud logging, cloud monitoring, police intelligence, yeah, and other services, of course. This list is not complete. So these are three main, most important keywords related to the landing zone. So the landing zone ensures that every GCP project is born secure, connected, and compliant. So think about this: secure, connected, compliant. Yeah? And the solution is totally different. So solution is solution teams. In the solution level, they are a client of landing zone. Yeah? So the solution team is a client of the landing zone, and this is important to understand that. Yeah. So of course there are different kind of solutions in the GCP. We have, for instance, applications, we have data solutions, we have AI solutions, and there are different services related to this. So for instance, for the applications we have GKE, Cloud Run, we have App Engine, AppG. For the data, we have Composer, Dataflow, BigQuery, Dataproc. For the AI, we have Vertex AI, Gemini Enterprise, BigQuery ML, Dataflow, Run Inference. We have, of course, many other services not mentioned here, but this is just examples. And this level, this solution level, depends on the landing zone. So here we have the relation, client and the provider of the landing zone. So we must understand that without the split between the landing zone and the solution, we will have problem with a context within the Claude code, because we can have many different solutions deployed on the GCP. We can have solution A, B, C, D, EF. And when we are talking about solution A, we should talk about solution A. In the context, there shouldn't be things related to solutions B, C, D. Yeah, this is not natural. And also, when we are talking about the landing zone, we shouldn't think about solution A, B, C. Maybe when we are thinking about the landing zone in area of specific solution, we can do that. But if we will have all in the same container, we will have a problem with a context. We have many hallucinations because in the solution we can talk about composer, for instance, and landing zone, the composer will be in other contexts. When we will mix it into one container, we'll have problem, because if we will develop things related, for instance, security and networking of composer, we will have different contexts related to data team, for instance, which has solution, which is a client, yeah, which is responsible for deployment of the composer for specific context. And we can have different contexts for this composer for solution A, solution B, solution C. So we cannot mix it due to the context management reasons. And to avoid hallucination, and of course to avoid too many tokens within the context, we must split it. And this is natural way how we can split it. So in the landing zone, we'll have only architecture decision records related to the landing zone and the landing zone specification. And in the solutions, catalog per solution, we'll have solution context and architecture decision records. When we will talk about the landing zone, we will inject into the context only needed things from the landing zone catalog, not from the solutions catalog. When we will talk about solution A, we will inject only things related to the solution A. Of course, we can mix it. So we can talk about solution A in the area of landing zone. So for instance, we want to deploy Dataproc. So we must know many different things about network topology. Yeah, so we can inject needed things from the landing zone, of course. Yeah, and there is of course approach that we can talk about landing zone having context of the specific solution. We can also do it, but this is here we have intention. Yeah, we can talk about landing zone with having in mind specific solution. We can talk about specific solution and having in mind the landing zone. And also we can of course mix it, and we can talk about solution A and solution B, because we can integrate solution A and solution B, but this will have an intention. So we must have container for the landing zone and containers for the solution. And then the context of the discussion will allow you to mix these containers, but only when you want to do this. Yeah, and this is very important to understand this. And I hope that you have learned what is the landing zone, what is the solution in the GCP, because without that you won't be able to work effectively on context level. Yeah, so from the context context management perspective in Claude, we need to divide this into two abstractions. So thank you for this episode. I hope that you have learned a lot during this, and I hope that in the next episode you will learn a lot about different concepts related to this tool based on Claude for GCP architecture generation. Thank you. See you.